What's up, everyone? This is Lavinia at Shivi Show Nuff on Twitter and host of the Just Thinking Out Loud podcast. And you are listening to the What Up Doe Show with my friend Tim Wilson. Keep it locked.
Give me a sip of water. It's the What Up Doe, the What Up Doe, the What Up Doe Show. It's time to recognize if you don't know. It's the What Up Doe, the What Up Doe, the What Up Doe Show. It's time to recognize if you don't know.
The What Up Doe Show. Your commentary on sports, entertainment, and alternative news.
Hey, what up, Doe, y'all? Yeah. Hey, it's What Up, Doe, the What Up, Doe, the What Up, Doe Show. Yo, what up, Doe? It's your boy T. Wilson. I am live on a Tuesday morning. I think it's a Tuesday morning anyway, so I'm going to pretend it is, even if it isn't. I want to say big up to all my people out there on Meerkat that's joining me right now. I have a whole audience of 4. I had 44 people come in and 40 people left. Make it 41. But yeah, we're going to kick this off, man. We got a great show for you today. I want to thank you all for joining the What Up Doe Show. Let's get to some birthdays. On birthdays today, I got the beautiful Carolyn Clancy Miller. What's up, Carolyn? I've got the other beautiful Champagne Williams. Oh, girl got eating at the Y on her picture over there. And I also got the beautiful Europa Daniels. What's up, Europa? I like her. And last but not least, I got my man Robert Brincourt Smoot. Happy birthday to all of y'all. Mm-hmm. And now that we done got our birthdays out the way, let's waste no more time and go on and get this party started.
What Up Doe Sports.
LaMarcus Aldridge reportedly told the Portland Trail Blazers he will not return and will become an unrestricted free agent until on July 1st and test the open market. And let me tell you something, folks. The open market for LaMarcus Aldridge is wide the frickin' open because everybody wants a piece of this action. However, the Trailblazers general manager Neil Olshey rebukes that notion. If Aldridge were to depart Rip City, though, the Los Angeles Lakers and the Houston Rockets are the teams that would receive heaviest consideration, according to sources in the Aldridge camp. Aldridge is leaning towards the Lakers, according to the Los Angeles Times. Of course, the Los Angeles Times is going to say that. The Lakers and Rockets will have the first chance to meet with Aldridge shortly after the clock strikes midnight Wednesday. Phoenix and Dallas are the next 2 teams on the list, planning to have a visit with Aldridge. However, the San Antonio Spurs will meet with Aldridge in Los Angeles on July 1st as well, with Greg Popovich and star players Tim Duncan and Tony Parker expected to make the trip to Los Angeles to see him. Try to sway the vote a little bit there.
Hibbity hoopla!
Staying into the hoops.
Hibbity hoopla!
Longtime Miami Heat guard Dwayne Wade opted out of his contract Monday. You know that's got some people tripping. You know the people out there in Miami are going, no! While the decision allows him to keep his options open, staying with the only franchise he's ever known is still very much in play. Wade is coming off of another solid season in Miami. There were questions about what type of role he would take on following the exit of LeBron James. He did see a spike in shot attempts, but his overall impact was in line with recent years. The 33-year-old guard averaged 22 points, 5 assists, and 4 rebounds while setting a new career low in minutes per game. The Heat have made a concerted effort to keep him healthy by cutting back his playing time and giving him some games off to rest. I signed my deal the way I did for a reason, and the organization did it for a reason, Dwayne said. It's my option. I'll decide when the time is right. Everyone knows I always try to do what's best for the organization, but I also have to do what's best for Dwayne Wade this time around. These comments obviously added a little more uncertainty to the equation for the Miami Heat fans that are screaming, "No!" A year after Phil Mickelson's name was attached to a federal investigation for insider trading, the golfer is now reportedly tied to an illegal gambling operation. According to inside sources, nearly $3 million transferred from golfer Phil Mickelson. Phil Mickelson, can I say his damn name? Phil Mickelson to an intermediary was part of an illegal gambling operation which accepted and placed bets on sporting events. Mickelson has not been charged with the crime and isn't under investigation, though a 56-year-old former sports gambling handicapper acting as a conduit for an offshore gambling operation pleaded guilty last week to laundering approximately $2.75 million of money that belonged to Mickelson. Gregory Silvieri of La Quinta, California, the aforementioned handicapper, pleaded guilty to 3 counts of money laundering. It remains to be seen if Mickelson will become the subject of the investigation. And believe it or not, for the first time since the What Up Doe Show's returned, it is time for the return of everybody's favorite newscaster, entertainment reporter, Buck Nutty.
What Up Doe Entertainment.
What up, Doe? This your boy Buck Nutty coming to you live for the What Up Doe Show. Paris Hilton plans to sue the people responsible for putting her on a plane that appeared to be in a crash mode just to get a rise out of her panty drawers. Paris is furious over the prank in which the TV crew got the pilot to pretend to shut down the engines in her plane and then nosedive to the ground. Paris says she was in mortal fear of her life, something the video pretty clearly showed. She's already called her lawyers to find out who's responsible, and they told her she has a solid case for emotional distress. Hasn't she been in an embarrassing video before? The next time you watch Celebrity Apprentice, the probability is the person doing the firing will be a minority. A minority host is seriously considered in the wake of NBC's decision to remove all things Trump from the network. One thing is certain, Trump won't be on the show. The minority host idea is an opportunity to make a powerful statement discrediting Trump's campaign platform on immigration. Toward that end, the most powerful statement would be making a Mexican or Mexican-American a host. That's the most logical scenario. Either way, the likely scenario now is a minority at the end of the boardroom. NBC has made it clear. Trump is now persona non grata. Donald Trump, on the other hand, says NBC is weak for firing him and he's threatening them in court. Trump says NBC is a prime example of why our country is in serious trouble. Because it is so worried about offending, it is blinding itself to the immigration issue. Trump says if NBC is so weak and so foolish to not understand the serious illegal immigration problem in the United States, coupled with the horrendous and unfair trade deals we are making with Mexico, then their contract violating closure of Miss Universe, Miss USA will be determined in court. So now the Donald is threatening NBC the way he's threatened Univision for allegedly breaching an ironclad contract by pulling the plug on him. And Trump took a parting shot saying NBC will stand behind lying Brian Williams but won't stand behind people that tell it like it is, as unpleasant as that may be. The game was dropping tens of thousands of dollars on champagne at 3 a.m. Monday and appearing as a defendant in court 5 hours later, and the judge could never tell. Game pled not guilty to felony criminal threat and misdemeanor assault hours after dropping more than $40,000 in alcohol at Playhouse in Hollywood. The Champagne Feud event was a BET after-party game and Chris Brown hosted. Game is being charged for cracking Onyebuchi Awaji, an off-duty cop, with a sucker punch during a March pickup basketball game. He claims it was self-defense. That's all I got. This your boy Buck Nutty reporting to you live for the What Up Doe Show.
What Up Doe News.
Yo, thanks for that report, Bug Nutty. In the What Up Doe News, in Levens, France, mud run participants might have to start worrying about more than sprained ankles or scraped knees after more than 1,000 people became sick to their stomach after participating in an event last week in France. So let's see how this went down. The regional health agency in southern France said 1,000 of the 8,400 participants involved in the Levens Mud Day reported some symptoms of acute gastroenteritis. The stomach ailments, mostly diarrhea, vomiting, and fever, were caused by a norovirus, a highly infectious disease that causes an inflammation of the stomach or intestines. This story gets better. Just hang in there with me. The U.S. Centers for Disease Control and Prevention says norovirus is transmitted through contaminated water or food or by touching contaminated surfaces. Health officials say it's possible the runners may have ingested mud contaminated with the virus along the race course, possibly through the presence of feces in the mud.
That's some bullshit.
The runners took to Mud Day's Facebook page complaining that sections of the course smelled distinctly of horse manure.
That's some bullshit.
Y'all nasty. In Frankenlust Township, Michigan, after claiming its ground along the road in Bay County's Frankenlust Township, a sign that advised drivers to drink more beer sold for $600. The unconventional road sign sat on auction for about a week before it was sold. It was a hot topic around here, Curtis Patel told the What Up Doe Show, and he's the owner of the auction site that sold the sign. We've had a lot of guys pull up and say, "Can we get our picture next to the sign?" Probably 100 people came out to get their picture by it. Though popular, Patel mentioned that the people did call in to complain about the sign's message, but he chose to stand his ground because the message's only purpose was to attract the interest of potential buyers. Do you want to ride? It's not that we're pushing beer drinking or anything. Do you want to ride? No, you're not pushing beer drinking with a sign that says drink more beer. Of course not. That's what the prior owner had in mind. That's what he programmed it for. Patel was referring to the previous owner who put the sign up for auction saying he had a stroke about 14 months ago and he's selling all his stuff and moving to Montana. I'm going to Montana soon. Maybe he's going to be a dental floss typhoon. Do you want to ride? I know a lot of my black listeners didn't get that. But trust me, that was funny shit.
Yeah, 'cause I got high. Because I got high. Because I got high. La da 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 da.
In Cape Cod, Massachusetts, David and Stacy Foster received a wedding gift that they do not plan to return. Promise you that. The Massachusetts couple purchased a $30 scratch-off from the state's new Supreme $1 Million lottery game and became instant millionaires less than 2 months after tying the knot. The Fosters were looking to purchase tickets from another register, and I know right now he's thinking, damn, I could have got a hotter chick if I'd have done this 2 weeks ago. However, the clerk told them the register was closed and that they had to purchase tickets from one that was open. They took home 3 lottery tickets, and Stacy played the one that revealed the jackpot. Stacy explained how they both ran to their neighbors to seek confirmation on the winning scratch-off. The response confirmed what they had already suspected. David and Stacy were rich. It's hard to comprehend, Stacy Foster told the newspaper. Like for me, I still can't comprehend this. Of the 30 million tickets that were printed, only 4 contained the grand prize and 1 in 7.5 million chance. The couple was the first to hit the jackpot. What a terrific way to start off our marriage, she said in reference to the marriage. We can pay all of our bills. We can buy a new house. We can buy a new car. We can buy a whole bunch of new shit. Oh, I love this. We're rich, damn it. We're rich, bitch.
What up? It's your boy Dino Red of the Red Rock Podcast Network. and you listen to my boy T. Wilson of the What Up Doe Show. You better tell somebody, baby.
In Woolston, England, a British golfer who stuck his head in a trash bin as an alcohol-fueled joke got his head stuck for 20 minutes in a garbage pail.
You suck, you jackass.
Dave Sayers was participating in a 24-hour charity golf tournament and had been drinking alcohol when he decided to throw his clubs in the trash as a joke. We were coming to the end of the day, and I'd been losing it a bit with a few bad shots, and we'd all had a few beers, and I said, it wouldn't be funny if I just bend these damn clubs, and but it wouldn't fit, so I decided to go a step further, and I went and put my head in the bin, but then I couldn't get it out. I couldn't get my head out of the damn bin.
You suck, you jackass.
Sayers, who admitted to being a bit silly, drew a crowd of onlookers as he struggled with the lid to get his head out of it. It was stuck like that for about 10 minutes or so until someone who had been carrying Vaseline to avoid sores during the golf day helped get my head out. Yeah, sure they were carrying Vaseline to avoid sores. They were using the Vaseline in those bathroom stalls at hole 8.5.
You suck, you jackass.
Who knows what they were doing that for? They're having relations on a golf course? The restrooms? It's nasty. You guys are nasty. In Mudanjing, China, police said they arrested a man who accidentally played pornographic videos on a large outdoor advertising screen. Police were called to an outdoor advertising screen reportedly showing pornographic video clips next to a busy street. Pornography was visible and audible to the public for about 20 minutes while the other guy had his head stuck in a garbage pail before the video cables were unplugged by officers. The screen, which faces a local hospital, belongs to a real estate company and hadn't been in operation since May. While the patients in the hospital were saying, "Thank you! I was getting bored in here, eating this nasty hospital food. Thanks for the porn break." An employee of the company had opened the pornographic video files on and off his computer that he didn't know was synced with the giant screen on the street. The worker was thereafter arrested and ordered to spend 10 days in a detention center where he hopes for somebody operating the screen outside the window of his cell to fire up some porn. Please do me the favor that I did you.
What up, everybody? This is your girl Keish, host of the Relationship Handbook Live, and you're tuned into my boy T on the What Up Doe Show. What up, Doe? What up, Doe? It's the What Up Doe Show.
And it is now time for your What Up Doe closing commentary. There's been a lot of talk lately about the Confederate flag in South Carolina coming down, and a lot of debate whether it should come down, whether it shows a sign of heritage or if it shows a sign of hatred. I never understood these kind of debates for the people that say they don't want to take it down. I was in Janesville, Wisconsin, where a high school in Milton, the Indian population there wanted the Milton High School to change their name because they felt Redmen was offensive to the Indians, and the people in the town rallied to keep the name because that's not what it means to us. It meant red T-shirts, some way, somehow. If you do this, to me, you're telling these people they don't have the right to be offended. And I don't get that. Who are you to say it's not offensive to me? You say this has historical value, this Confederate flag, but what exactly does it stand for? It's your heritage, really? It represents a war that you fought to keep slavery. Let's go a step further. It represents a war you fought and lost to keep slavery. So you want to keep this legacy of your demise hanging from the state capitol. If you want to hang the flag at your house, cool. That is your right. Nobody's telling you you don't have the right to care about it. Nobody's telling you you don't have the right to feel some type of a pride in it. But it shouldn't be waving at the state capitol, because you have a large percentage of your residents that finds it offensive. I think from a governmental standpoint, that is where you sound stupid. That is where the state of South Carolina needs to stand up for the majority of their residents, for their entire residency, for the entire voting population of their state, and say the flag needs to go. Because as long as it's flying, you are telling a large portion of your population that is paying money to fund your paycheck to suck eggs. That you don't care that this flag represents the fact that our state wanted you to remain slaves. And now that you're tax-paying citizens, we still wish you were slaves. You were worth more to us as slaves than you are as productive, tax-paying citizens. That's the message. Take the damn flag down. Don't make no damn sense. That's your What Up Doe commentary. Yo, that's all I got for today, man. I want to thank you guys for listening. I want to thank all you people out there on Meerkat for watching, even those that bailed out on me. Big up to my man Latone Heart. He does a show called The 730 Show. You can catch it on Spreaker.com, Stitcher.com, as well as iTunes. Big up to my man Dino Red of The Shiznit Show. He does a show called The Shiznit Show. He has the Red Rock Podcast Network. You can catch it on Stitcher.com or visit theshiznitshow.com. Big up to my man Spirit G of the G-Spot Network Podcast. He does a show called Hoopla. You can catch it on thegspn.com or also link it onto Stitcher.com. Big up to Lavinia. She be show enough. She does a show called Just Thinking Out Loud with her cousin Bajetto Rising of the JTOL Media Group. You can catch them on Stitcher.com as well. Big up to my man Enrique Black of the 5 Minutes Away podcast, Gil Laurie of the Onyx Truth podcast, and my man Jerry Taylor of the You Name It podcast. All can be heard on Stitcher.com. And my man, I can't forget my man Murray Riley Jr. of the Stump and Shout Radio podcast and the Sky Shout Radio podcast network. That's all I got, man. I want to thank all you viewers on Meerkat. This is my second day doing Meerkat. I like doing the Meerkat thing, even if only a few people watch. It doesn't matter. Yesterday I had 63 people join me. Today 94. So it's a growing effort. So we're gonna keep it growing and keep it going. That's all I got, man. Peace out. Peace out, Pressy Crease out, keep the police out while I bust his niece out, and I'm out of here like last year. Peace.
Oh, and in case I don't see you, good afternoon, good evening, and good night.
What up, though?